When we talk about Thomas Anderson, aka Neo, we usually focus on his life after becoming a red pill, his abilities as the One, and how he became a savior. But his life as a blue pill is just as interesting. He spent his days working for a strange company where unknowingly he might have been working for the betterment of his incarceration. Today we're going to talk about the secrets of MetaCortex. Welcome to Matrix Explained.
Welcome to the desert of the real.
Let's start by explaining the name of the company. Like most names in the Matrix universe, MetaCortex has a double meaning. It is composed of two words, meta, which means showing or suggesting an explicit awareness of itself or oneself as a member of its category, cleverly self-referential, and cortex, which is a reference to the neocortex. Also called the neopolium, isocortex, or the six-layered cortex, is a set of layers of the mammalian cerebral cortex involved in higher-order brain functions such as sensory perception, cognition, generation of motor commands, spatial reasoning, and language. Interestingly, the word neocortex also has the word neo in it. MetaCortex could mean that this is a company in charge of developing programs to improve the perception and cognition of the people connected to the simulation. But why would humans be working to help create programs to improve the Matrix? Is there evidence of this? The Matrix comic, System Freeze, is the story of a woman who had an accident while climbing Mount Everest. This woman was a programmer working on the development of a new artificial intelligence. Just when she was going to die on the mountain, an agent appeared and saved her, on the one condition that she would continue working on that program. Later, the trauma the woman endured on Mount Everest inhibited her from completing the project, which did not end well for her when the agent came knocking, expecting her end of the deal to be fulfilled. This shows that the Matrix programs do need humans to create other programs. There is also the story of the comic, Let It All Fall Down. This comic is about a programmer named Peter who developed a type of artificial intelligence called EPOs. These had the ability to improve themselves. A colleague of Peter's came up with the idea of linking the EPOs program with another program assigned for interrogation, which caused the EPOs to lose control and ended up showing Peter the real world. Peter, through his computer monitor, saw the human fields in the real world. Yet another example of how humans can develop programs for the Matrix and how they can affect the operations of the simulation. When Neo met the architect, the program told him that his entire life was manipulated, controlled, so that all circumstances will eventually bring him to the architect. It is no coincidence that Neo was working for MetaCortex, less so after hearing the words of his boss, Mr. Reinhardt. We believe that this character is a Matrix program created specifically to keep Neo in check at work. Several clues do indicate this. The scene when Neo is in Reinhardt's office as he is being scolded by his boss. Mr. Reinhardt is not only dressed like an agent, but he speaks like one. He almost sounds like Agent Smith, but we will talk about this later. The way Neo is standing in front of Reinhardt is visually similar to how he stands in front of the Oracle and the Architect. It is as if the movie was telling us that this character is also a powerful program. There is a clear double entendre in Mr. Reinhardt's dialogue.
You believe that you are special, that somehow the rules do not apply to you. Obviously, you are mistaken.
Reinhardt is predicting Neo's future, breaking the rules of the simulation, and of course, being special. He then proceeds to talk about MetaCortex.
This company is one of the top software companies in the world because every single employee understands that they are part of a whole. Thus, if an employee has a problem, the company has a problem.
This part of the dialogue is a reference to the Matrix. The Matrix is made up of billions of humans who function as one, and if one becomes a problem, the simulation will be at risk. Again, Neo's boss is speaking in ambiguity. He concludes by speaking to Neo like a program, telling him that he must make a choice.
The time has come to make a choice, Mr. Anderson. Either you choose to be at your desk on time from this day forth, or you choose to find yourself another job.
It's interesting how Reinhardt is the first to give Neo this quote-unquote choice in the movie. The chances that this centralist is a Matrix program are high. So are the odds of MetaCortex being controlled by Matrix programs when Agent Smith says that this is a highly respected company.
In one life, you're Thomas A. Anderson, program writer for a respectable software company. You have a social security number, you pay your taxes.
Now, knowing what MetaCortex is, according to the movies, and the information given by programs and the comics, what then is this company? Our theory is that MetaCortex serves the purpose of controlling Neo, keeping him in the company until it's time for him to wake up. Possibly Neo learned a lot about programming and hacking within this company, which would then help him fulfill his purpose. Mr. Reinhardt's ultimatums were tests to see if Neo was ready to become the One or the integral anomaly. Agents have free access to MetaCortex, something that also shows that they are the ones in charge of this company. Canonically, a human is used to update the Matrix. The One is this human who carries the errors of the Matrix that are required to be uploaded to the source to update the Matrix. Why? Because the architect needs human imperfections to create a more realistic simulation. If the architect makes the Matrix based on his logic, everything would be too perfect for the humans, and thus they grow suspicious. This is the reason why the architect uses the integral anomaly to update the Matrix. And this could be the real purpose of MetaCortex. As we've mentioned, this software company is in charge of creating programs within the simulation. Based on the company's name, you could say that these programs are partially created to improve the illusion of the Matrix. The MetaCortex employees are humans who ironically work in improving the simulation, just like the woman who tried to climb Mount Everest. But do you agree? Is this the true purpose of the MetaCortex software company?
At MetaCortex, we're crafting the future today, working at the forefront of a new reality, virtual, augmented, crafted for you with proprietary machine learning and AI. We are among the top software companies in the world because our employees know they are more than just themselves. They're part of a whole. That's why they've repeatedly voted us as one of the most respectable software companies on the planet. Come, join us today. MetaCortex. For us, you are the one.
For Matrix Explained, please leave a like and subscribe. And thank you for visiting the Desert of the Real.